Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Hopefully, you had a good weekend. Maybe you were able to get out and about and enjoy. Well, it was a little cooler this weekend, but enjoy a little bit of the outside, or maybe you celebrated Mother's Day. Hopefully, you were able to have a good weekend. Um, my weekend, you can kind of guess what it was. Three guesses, and only one counts of where was I at least one of the days. Sky high, yes, I was. But it's good. I mean, it's good to go out and see campers and a little extra money, which is nice. And then Mother's Day, got to have a little bit of Mother's Day activities as well. So I did have a good weekend. I'm hoping you had a good weekend as well. So for this Monday, there is no new science or history assignment. There is a new math and English. So make sure you're checking your Google Classrooms for those ones. And then for science and history, so for history, well, that's that 9/11 and COVID-19 comparison, which I said it a bunch of times. You're going to roll your eyes because you're like, we've heard this 1,000 times, but you're living in history, guys. Remember, it was when they had a SpaceX flight that they launched, was it December, I want to say, or January that we talked about it? And it was it was like a first successful, like privately owned one. And I was like, one day, guys, we might be booking flights like instead of like airplanes, it might be like flights to space. I mean, Elon Musk with his Occupy Mars, and that might one day be something. And then you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, I was sitting in Miss Maratik's science class when we talked about that. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, look, that actually like connections. So, but this isn't as positive or as happy of one, but we can make the best of it and kind of just reflect back on the moment while we're still a part of it. And there are little things you can look for, good things that come out of it. Like maybe you're getting to spend more time with your family. Maybe you're getting to spend more time with your pets. I'm thinking of some of our staff members who just recently had babies at the beginning of this year, and now it's not ideal to raise little ones in, but they are. I mean, they're teachers, so they're still working from home, but they're definitely going to have more time with their little ones because they are home, they are able to, they don't have as much time on the road that they're driving. So there's little bits and pieces that we can look for. We can look for the positive. And then for science, we're looking at that worldometer. We're actually seeing what does the world population look like in real time. It's fascinating. It's kind of like the earthquake thing where it's not cool because, I mean, earthquakes, it's happening. As we're sitting here, somewhere else in the world, there's an earthquake happening. That's the reality of someone else, which that's not cool. It is fascinating. And kind of same thing with the worldometer. I mean, there's births happening every second. There's also deaths happening every second, which is kind of like, again, it's like a fascinating, it's not really cool. So finish those up. Both science and history are due by 9 o'clock tomorrow. So make sure you finish those up, make them look nice. You got that. So on that little tirade I was starting to go on of little happiness moments, etc. So I was thinking from what I gave as an idea on Friday as a possible Mother's Day craft, I'm like, oh my gosh, we could totally possibly do that as just a general cheer me up, look for little bits of happiness. So obviously it's going to work a little bit better if you're able to get rocks and get rocks back to somewhere where lots of people are passing. But you could make some painted rocks or use Sharpies on some rocks and then just leave them there for other people to come upon. I lived in the country growing up, so a tractor's probably just going to rumble over my rock if I did that. So if you live in the country, maybe you're just going to have your rocks, you're just gonna put them out so they're cute, so that when you and your family members see them, that's a little bit of happiness, and that's already a few more people to have that little bit of happiness. If you do live somewhere that you're going to be able to get them, maybe like the levee, or we can't really go to parks right now, but along a sidewalk that goes by a park, something like that, you could grab a few rocks. Now, don't go crazy and make a factory of rocks, but you could grab maybe like 3 and look for ones that are like flatter and they're a little bit bigger. I mean, they don't need to be gigantic, but so that you have a little space to make a little bit of artwork, and then you can drop them off again, and someone else might get to see that little happiness. I know something I've seen around town, and so maybe your family's already done this, but there's like hearts that people have put up in their windows that face the streets, and that's really cute. Another thing, and this comes from, so there's like different conferences or different webinars and meets and stuff, and if I have the time and it's free to do, I do it. In general at least. But there was one that there's a gentleman, Joe Sanfilippo. He's a superintendent for Fall Creek, and I got the chance to hear him speak when I was doing some workshops for the school, and then there was like this one that was offered that you could go to for free. And I was like, oh, I've heard him speak again and before, and I'll listen to him speak again. And something he talked about is something that's free or really low cost, and it takes very little time, but you can send out a lot of happiness really quickly, is grab your phone, or if you don't have a phone, grab your Chromebook, and then send a message, a happy message or a thank you message, an appreciation message to 3 people. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, your friend. You've just made 3 more people happy, and it took you just a little bit of time to do that. Think about that. If everyone in our class, so there's 75, if I count every single student in my science classes, times that by 3, what we got? We got 75, 150, 225, right? 225 people just had a little bit of happiness sent to them. Took very little time. I hope when I send out these messages, that's what this is you're like, oh, it's a little bit of happiness because then I just made 75 people happier. Hopefully you look at a little picture that I put on the Moment with Maratik and you're like, oh, that's an adorable little parrot riding a bike or whatever the picture is for the day. Or, if I've got the little inspirational, you're like, yes, I got this for the day. Maybe not, this time isn't perfect. It's not, but there's little things that we can look to that are good. I did have some ideas or some little inspiration, if you will, of some painted rocks if you need some ideas. So there's some, you could put little flowers on them. You could get a little more creative if your rock's bigger and you could write a little message. You could just put kind of little spots on it. You can make these kind of simple. Oh my gosh, look at that one. It looks like a little pencil. How cute is that? Put a little rainbow. Now, you guys, think about me. We know that Miss Maratik is not the artist of the world. I'm not going to make millions selling my art, but I can try and I can do simple. Look at this little watermelon. I think I could do that watermelon. That would not be too bad. Something that's really nice is if you have clear spray paint to put on top of it, it kind of keeps it, them from rubbing off. So something you do, oh my gosh, do you see those porcupines or hedgehogs rather? Adorable. That would be pretty easy. I think I could do that. I got some Sharpies, so I might try and find some rocks myself and see if I can't set them out. I'm going out to the campground. Oh, look at the monsters. Look at those little monsters. They're so cute. So go ahead, have a little bit of fun, like a little ladybug. And if you need a little creative outlet, and then you can make some other people happy. So let me know if you have any questions as always, or if you have anything to tell me, any of it, if you need resources, food, technology, anything, I am here for you and to help you. So let me know. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. Bye.